Welcome to the apocalypse. It's so good to see you.
We're all gonna die!
All right, folks. Welcome to the Living NLP podcast. My name is Nicholas Rave. This is...
I'm Morgan Lane Bennett, yo. And making the best of funky times.
It is rather convenient that we decided to start doing our podcast remotely anyway. So this doesn't change a lot. And I personally am blessed that most of my clients I see virtually.
Yeah. I know a lot of hypnotists who are having problems because they have brick and mortar shops. And I'm like, I've never done that, which I would love a brick and mortar at some point, but also it's nice to stay socially distant.
Yeah, my view about it is like I like to travel, so I want to have a business that can travel with me.
Exactly.
But like I keep thinking about all the like yoga teachers and massage therapists.
Oh yeah, man.
Just went from
personal trainers. My personal training business disappeared in a day.
Overnight. It's
gone.
Crazy. Yeah.
Gone.
Well, so what have you been doing to keep busy in the apocalypse?
Dude, honestly, what apocalypse?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I stay home, which I mostly do anyways. I notice the business and I notice the stores. But if it's a matter of stay home for 14 days, be by yourself for 14 days, I got that covered. So I mean, it's like, I spent the last week, because I just got back from vacation, I spent the last week catching up on some courses that I was taking, that like the week before's courses, which is a long time, reaching out to clients, basically deconstructing my personal training business and putting everybody on pause. And then reaching out to all my other clients and going, I'm here to support you. Cause like, I actually feel pretty good. Obviously things are crappy and I'm not trying to make light of other situations or even my own situation, but I am going to deal with it the best that I can. And I know that I have the skills to do that. I know you have the skills to do that. And I know that I have the skills to, I was in Hawaii and I was with my friend and we were just talking about how what are we going back to? Because I left a week ago yesterday and the world was here. I came back Monday and the world was gone. And I went straight from a plane to locking myself in my apartment because I had traveled. But now 4 days later, everyone's locked in their places. And when I was in Hawaii, we were like joking, oh shit. I was like, oh fuck, everything's going to go to hell. The clients are all going to disappear. No one's going to want to do any work anymore. Everything's, and then in the airport, I realized this is where we've talked about before. My skills they don't involve much technology. My skills don't involve moving widgets around. My skills don't I work with people. That's my skill. And that's my skill set. And people need what I have now more than ever.
Right.
And honestly, like that's a real thing that I sat with at the airport on the way back. I was like, oh, and it just like took the coal of whatever shit's going on and just diamondified it for me, where I was like, oh, everybody needs what I have to offer. Stress relief, whatever, like perspective, handling yourself, dealing with things, having a perspective, all the things that you and I do is everything the world needs now more than ever.
This feels like a good time to talk about reality tunnels.
Oh yeah.
And for those of you who are tuning in and listening to this, if you are having a rough time right now, especially if you're in this kind of work, because this is a podcast for NLP, by NLP, about NLP. If you're in this kind of work or any kind of work where this is really being impacted, I strongly encourage you to listen to the beliefs that Morgan is expressing. Model him right now, because he's not bragging. He's not saying like people need my skills more than ever. The point of him saying that, from my perspective, is you need to hear you can live in a world where everything is falling apart right now. You can live in a world where the sky is falling and the economic impacts of this are going to ripple throughout decades.
If you're one of us, if you're an NL person or a hypnotist or a change worker of some kind, Now's the time.
Yeah. Or you can, like Rick and Morty, shoot a little green portal onto the wall and then walk into another dimension, a dimension where you are actually feeling like, holy shit, this is going to be the best time ever for my business. We are going to figure out how to leverage this, and people are going to be more open and more receptive, and I'm going to get more business than I've ever had before. And the difference between those two realities, two people can stand right next to each other and live in one and live in the other. And the difference is in your head.
Yeah. And that's not to say that there aren't like, fuck, what if the supply chain runs out and the food's gone and the power goes out and then fucking, I don't know, man. I can only control what I can control, and that's me. And that's what I hope.
Doing it again. Listen.
What I help other people do. And it really, like, I was proud of myself for having these kinds of skills that I need to offer. I said to myself, I should have done more to get these skills out there in the past, which then, of course, has made me even more motivated to do more with it now when it's needed. And since we're talking to NL people, it's like, you're it. People need us. They don't need a lot of the fluff that we used to occupy ourselves with. People are in crisis mode. And I see, a lot of the people that we would see, or maybe it's just in my head, but I think a majority of the humans out there, when things were good, were barely hanging on by a thread. Their coping mechanisms weren't that great in the best of times, and now that it's the worst of times, people's shit, they're losing it. They're like, the real deals are coming up, and they can't really distract themselves anymore with going out and doing these things and whatever, and shit just got really real. And I'm so motivated, so excited to be of service in this place. And if that means, finding ways to group coach and finding ways to leverage and finding things like doing some kind of charity work, whatever it is to help people, now's the time. The sun will come out tomorrow, la, la, la. And where are you going to be? That's a big thing. It's like, where are you going to be? You're going to go down the hole, or are you going to go, I have a light to shine here. And that's really just been my jam.
People need your help, and people also need these tools. One of the thoughts that I've had is, as challenging as it's been for me to maintain my own reality tunnel that is useful during these stressful times, I have had thoughts like, what the fuck must it be like for people who don't have these tools? Like, I can't hardly wrap my head around that. You imagine taking people who are already on edge, full of anxiety, maybe addicted to pain meds, and then you're like, stay in your house. You're not allowed to leave.
Right. The people are losing their shit, right? Some people can't be alone for an hour.
This is going to be bonkers. So people need these tools. People need to not just receive your support if you're an NL person.
one of the NL people.
Yeah. But they also need to learn how to manage themselves. And that's another frame to look at this, is when people have meltdowns, which are going to happen during this time, some people are going to come out of it and be like, shit, I need to deal with this. And they're going to be highly motivated to learn more and to learn the soft skills, the mystical arts of dealing with your own mind.
Yeah. And people are at home doing, online courses if they have half a brain, instead of just, you got Netflix. Okay. But then at some point you better be doing something good for yourself. And why can't we be those online courses, right? If you're going to better yourself, let your friends and associates and whatever better yourself through you. Be the online course.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally why I scheduled a meeting later today with Morgan at 4:30
that guy's an asshole.
Brainstorm. So, like, we're looking at this as an opportunity, like crisis and opportunity. I know it's a fucking cliche, but it's true. The idea.
Why shouldn't we?
The idea of looking at a crisis and going, okay, there are opportunities here. There are ways to leverage this into the reframe that I've been offering to all my clients in this time. And I've been having a lot of emergency sessions where clients are texting me, be like, do you have any sessions available today? Like this afternoon? So the standard reframe that I've been having is asking people to question, what do you need to do to make this one of the best experiences of your life? What do you need to do to make it so that when you look back on this, you're like, holy crap, that was the moment when everything changed for the better.
Exactly.
And I don't know what the answer to that question is, but I know that if you ask it and you trust your unconscious mind and you listen and you have the courage to hear the answer, you'll get one.
Yeah. And to lead me to anecdote.
Sure. Go ahead.
Things that happened in my business. I had one new client and one recurring client sign up for VIP packages in the last 2 days.
Whoa, good for you.
Because, good for them, because both of them said, now's the time to invest in myself.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, yes, you just took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to fucking frame that in all these ways, like, oh, good. And I actually said, good for you.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's really great.
So I'm very proud of them and very honored to be of service, but that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because the sun's going to come out. We're going to get out of our houses, whatever it is. Even Mad Max wants to know how to handle himself better, communicate more with others so that he can achieve his goals and live the life of his dreams. Right. So that was really my anecdote, was that people need it, and they see it. Smart people are going to go, fuck, I need to do something to sort this out.
Exactly. There's a bunch of idiots in the world, obviously, and like, they're going to handle this however they're going to handle it. But there's a whole bunch of people that are genuinely motivated and smart people, and they're going to hit a wall. They're going to hit an edge that they've never felt before, because we've never had to. We're a pretty soft couple of generations.
They thought they had enough. Oh, the world's going to, it's fine.
Exactly.
The stock market, this and that. And all of a sudden, wait, reality, everything I thought was real just fizzled. And now it's like, we're back to being animals. And
truth is, this isn't even that big of a catastrophe.
No, not yet.
Like statistically, no, I know this one's going to grow and expand, but my point is, like, this is one of those things that they keep saying, like, these things happen predictably and statistically. They're an inevitability. You know what else is an inevitability? Super volcanoes.
Right.
Asteroids.
Right.
Like, that's shit that when that happens, how prepared are you going to be? This is a training ground right now to be prepared. And I'm not talking prepper prepared, although you can do that if you want.
I think a lot of people are going, preppers.
Yeah, maybe they fucking
I sure made a lot of fun of those guys. Right?
Yes.
I hope they don't eat me too fast. You know? Or they kill me before they cook me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, yeah, so it's a reality check. It's a reality tunnel check is what it is.
Yes. And that's the thing, is manage your reality tunnel. Manage your state as we're going through this time, to make sure that you figure out what questions you need to ask yourself so that your focus is in a place where this can be one of the best things that's ever happened to you.
Right. Yeah. And then I might not have had like 7 months of canned food in my place. I was fairly mentally prepared for this because of my view of the world and things in general. But like, haven't we all been waiting for the end of the world to come? Like, sort of a thing. Like, although this isn't it, but it's you know, I'm going to do a whole other thing with the political socio thing of what this could end up looking like. But for now, I really just wanted to focus on the fact that if you're one of us, if you're like me and Nicholas, and you got some skills, use them. Get out of your own fucking way and save somebody's life, because that's what we're doing. That's what you can do. And if it's just a gift, just go out and do the things at this point. Yeah. Get the practice, meet the people. When it's all said and done, and they leave their house, and they're better than when they left, when they went in there, then you're a hero. And
do you know who David Shepard is? He's a NLP trainer. Used to work with the Jameses. David Shepard has been doing Facebook Lives of him just walking on the beach, talking to the camera every day since this shit went down, for free. Just like giving solid shit. David Shepard's legit. He knows what he's talking about, and he's giving relevant, valuable information, and he's helping people.
All I've been seeking to do.
Yeah. Another trap to get caught in is there's enough people out there talking about this. You know what there is more of than people out there trying to help? Misinformation, panicking,
people
idiots. People who need help. Exactly. So you can be like, raise the number of people who are saying things that are useful, because if only one person listens and you help that one person, that's worth your time.
Right. And if we're talking about viruses, I'm a big fan of the concept of mind viruses and vaccinating against certain ones and also creating other ones. A meme is just a virus. Oh my God. Speaking of memes.
Yes.
So,
you've been enjoying any in particular lately?
I have some shockingly large ones.
We're having an inside joke that we're not sharing with everybody. You realize that?
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure some of you have had some.
Just go to Morgan's Facebook wall.
Some of you have had some pictures.
See if you can figure it out.
Shown to you that you may not have wanted, but honestly, that poor bastard is making the apocalypse worth living through. I keep getting new ones every day.
Amazing. Okay, let me give an anecdote.
Anecdote me, bro.
Yeah, and my anecdote is also relevant to what's happening right now. I had another one about working with a client, but I realized that's not what I wanted to talk about. So for me, I had a moment that I think was really helpful and a breakthrough for me personally. So this all kind of exploded for me on like Thursday, Friday last week, which is insane that it was only a week ago. And I think on Sunday, like I started, like schools got closed. Like I'm now talking to everybody, figuring out what's going on. And then all my clients are contacting me going, oh my God, this is what the world is ending. And so I'm noticing that I'm like staying fairly calm. And then on, I think Sunday, it was only a couple days, I was giving voice and I was hearing people use the word anxiety a lot. Like I'm feeling really anxious. And I noticed that I was feeling anxious. And then in the middle of a meditation, I had this realization that I needed to upgrade that word. And that for me, shifting the word from anxiety to a word that felt more honest, which is I'm scared. I was scared. I was feeling genuine fear, not terror, but scared. It was like this moment where almost like those psychedelic moments when you have this realization about something that's true. And I was like, oh, I'm scared. I am scared right now. I am scared about what's happening. I'm scared about the economy. And what I noticed when I was more honest about what I was feeling was that when I was saying, well, I'm feeling anxious, I was lying and I was shoving down my actual feelings. And once I was like, oh, those feelings, that's fear. I'm scared right now. Once I acknowledged it and I let myself feel it, I didn't feel it anymore.
Right.
And that was the moment when I popped through the other side and I noticed, oh, now I can actually hold space for other people. Nice. And the key for me was being not lying about how I'm actually feeling, not trying to be like, oh, I'm the NLP guy. I got to keep my shit together. I don't feel fear. I keep my shit. And that was bullshit. Right. The truth is my animal you can't walk into a grocery store right now without feeling the tension of like, I was at Costco of all places. And one of the employees dropped a pallet and it made this super loud sound. And I felt the feeling like before a riot starts. Right. Like I could feel everybody jump and look around and like I started catching eyes with people and like my animal brain kicked on and I'm like, am I going to have to punch a motherfucker? And like nothing happened. But that's the kind of tension that's going on right now. And if you're pretending that's not getting to you, that's not going to actually help. What helps is be real, be honest about it. Tell the truth to yourself and to everyone else. And now it no longer holds power over you.
Right. Nice. Yeah. I have been going out and making attempts to be extra nice and mellow. To particular, I mean, the only place I'm going is the store, but to like see people in the store, hey, like to look people in the eye. Go, hey, how's it going? You doing good? Like to actually communify community through communication. Here at NLP podcast, we communify community through communication.
We love words. We have the best words. That and thanking the people who are serving me now, like the people who work at the fucking store, who are keeping things together, who we didn't realize were keeping shit together this whole time. Offering to help people where you can't, like, it all gets real pretty quick, and either we're going to be savages or we're going to help each other out. And and acknowledging the scaredness is definitely a thing. I'm more scared for others than myself. Right.
Worst comes to worst, I think I'll survive, but I'm more scared for my family, my friends with kids, little kids, like, I think that somehow my business is going to make it through this. Yeah. And both of them or all of them or combine them into some other hybrid of a thing. There are people who might not have that. They might not have the ability to do that. There's people on the fringes, and shit's going to get hard for a lot of people. And like I said, what makes me sad is that 2% of 7 billion is 140 million.
Dude, I know. I know.
They're going to die in a month.
Yeah.
140 million people are going to die in a month.
Yeah.
And I might know one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes me sad. It doesn't make me scared because I don't want to be sick. But again,
I've been feeling the same way. I'm like, I'm not concerned statistically for my immediate family or really even any of my immediate friends. I'm concerned for my dad. I'm concerned for my wife's parents. I'm concerned for my son's grandpa on his mom's side. And I'm like, and I'm concerned for the economic impact of people who don't know how to weather this. Yeah. And even now I'm using the word concerned. That's a diminishment of it. I'm scared for those people.
Right. Yeah.
My dad's in Washington. That's the fucking epicenter of it. Right. And I'm scared for that. I don't want him to die. I love my dad.
We'll be there soon enough. And so, it's like, I am all of those things. And a soldier is scared, but if they've trained too hard to be scared in the moment. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm looking to be, is to lead by an example of, shit's crazy, but it's how are we going to handle this? Because I could curl up and eat all my food in a day and then just never leave the house and whatever, or what can I do? What can I do? How can I help?
Yeah. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action in the face of fear. So to me, the point of this anecdote is, don't pretend you're not scared when you are. Don't diminish it. Don't downgrade it. But the point of voicing it, of being honest about it, is so you can move past it. So you can get to the place where you can say, I am scared, and what are we going to fucking do? Let's do something. Let's make this better. Right. That you can't do that when you're like, I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
Well, the thing is, most people that we've worked with use fear as a motivator anyways. So fucking get motivated, get afraid and do something about it.
Yeah, but they're not very good at using fear as a motivator.
And yet now we're all there, which brings me to my quote. If that's cool.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let's say hi to a couple people. Oh. Chris. Hey, Chris. Thanks for joining us. He just said something really nice. He said
the brain.
No. Chris Wally, I think is how you say his last name. Thanks to Nicholas, great mentor. I'm freaking awesome because of you guys. He's talking about the two of us. Thanks. And Jake Ralston is on there. I think I met Jake at a street hypnosis training that I did. So, hey, Jake, how's it going?
Nice. Hey, guys. Thanks for showing up.
We got some NL peeps hanging out with us.
Nice.
Okay. Well, Okay. So we forgot to give the frame of how we do this. So the way that this podcast typically works is that we come on and each one of us shares an anecdote each about how we've been using NLP and hypnosis throughout the week, the last week since we've talked.
Yeah, go ahead.
We got an echo.
Yeah.
And then each one of us shares a quote from something we've been reading that's relevant to NLP and hypnosis. And then we answer questions. And usually we go scouring the internet for questions if we need to, or we take questions from people who've been asking. So for those of you who are tuned in right now, hey, Heidi, good to see you. For those of you who are tuned in, if you have any questions about life or about NLP or hypnosis or about anything that we talk about in this kind of context, feel free to type them in there because we'd love to address some actual questions to actual listeners right here. And that being said, we talked about our anecdotes. Morgan, what's your quote?
So, sort of a quote. So this whole social distancing thing, this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This whole thing is the world's biggest handshake interrupt.
Oh, dude, please make a video on that.
I will.
Oh my God.
No one's going to know but us, but I will. Because it's pattern interrupt. Everyone's patterns have been interrupted. And now's the time to implant something. And here's the thing, everybody's getting their shit implanted. It's classic trauma-based mind control. Do something shitty, and then do this, and then people tell people what to do, but something shitty's happening. The pattern has been interrupted. This is why they need us. This is why we need to step up.
Okay. Let me jump in and explain for anybody hearing who doesn't know what a handshake interrupt is. So one of the best instant or rapid inductions that you can use is handshakes are an unconscious habit or routine. There's something that the conscious mind doesn't really get involved very much. When you reach your hand out to shake someone's hand, their hand comes out automatically to meet it. And if you interrupt that pattern, it's kind of similar to I'm walking down a set of stairs and I think I'm at the last step, but it turns out there's actually one more. And then in that moment when your foot goes out and it's expecting to meet the ground, but there's just empty space, you go into an instantaneous deep trance. If while someone is reaching out to shake your hand, they do something different, they interrupt that pattern, the person's conscious mind kind of goes, and time slows down and they go into a trance. And so what Morgan is saying is that right now, everyone is having to interrupt not just the handshake pattern, every
pattern has been broken.
This is the biggest pattern interrupt
in history
ever.
Right.
Oh my God, dude. I fucking love that.
So that's why they need us to tell them what to do in a good way. That's why I'm like, what are you going to do? That's why I keep asking people, okay, cool. What are you doing to make this better? What are you going to do? How are you making the most of this? What are you doing? Because if not, if you're going to sit and watch fucking 10 hours of Narcos and then 10 hours of news and wonder why your life just got way worse, or here's where we take this time to go, okay, now we change. Because everything's different. All your old triggers are gone. Everything's done. Now you can do something. And it was just a little piece that I found in the old Darren Brown book. I don't know why I got this sticker over his face. It says, the use of disorienting techniques to amplify a person's responsiveness to suggestion is a classic ploy of talented persuaders. Right.
So right now, this adds to the frames that we said at the very beginning about what's going on and why this is a good time for people who have the skills that we have. People are more open and receptive right now. People are in a moderate trance deeper than they normally are. People are hungry for solutions and anything they can grab onto that's going to make them feel better. So again, this is encouragement to put your shit out there. Go help people. Go talk to people. Offer what you have. If you are the kind of person who's listening to a podcast called Living NLP, you probably have tools that people need, and they're unique. They're different than the tools that other people have.
Or different than ours. Like you got your own style, your own little flavor. Maybe you're more fluffy. Maybe you're more whatever. But this
Dude,
is it.
my quote is not going to remotely.
Well, my quote was the best quote, but Darren Brown tied
Yeah,
in.
no,
Like,
but you
when
had
I
a
realized
point.
that-
You had a metaphor. It's
when I
amazing.
realized I was going to shake somebody's hand and they did the thing, I was like, oh, shit. This whole thing is one big handshake interrupt.
I am going to be saying that like to every single person that I talk to.
Pat Penny,
All right.
copyright.
I will give you credit.
Good.
Okay, you want to hear mine? Okay, so I
Right.
actually have two. These are two books that, if I'm perfectly honest, I actually haven't read them all the way through. But I was scanning through them to see if there was some good quotes. So the first one is Richard Bandler's Guide to Transformations. This is one of his more recent books.
If the fucking thumbnail is you holding that book up again, I'm going to freak out.
This is in 2008, so this is one of his more recent books. And I just wanted to drop this one for you because I was glancing through the book, like one of the first pages I opened it to, page 73. He's talking about strategies, and he's talking about how people have different strategies for doing different things. And he was talking about memorization. He's talking about like spelling strategies and stuff. And right here it says, the late Robert Anton Wilson, a prolific writer and speaker and an old friend of mine, used to recite poetry to me for hours. When I asked him how he memorized it all, he said, well, I have it all on a really big page, and I just read it off the page. Anybody who ever saw Bob give a talk will immediately understand what he meant. As he spoke, Bob would move his head from one side to the other to read the sentences written there, because the picture he created in his mind was big, 20 feet high and 20 feet across, with great big letters on it. It contained a lot of information, so it was easy to read and easy to remember. So
awesome.
I mostly just shared that.
I forgot about that. I read that book, but that's amazing.
I mostly just mentioned that because Robert Anton Wilson, Raw, is the patron saint of Living NLP. And I felt like since I opened to that page.
Love it. Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay.
And amazing.
So I actually have a different one that's a little more
Go ahead.
interesting. So this one is about, so this one, I have two books, so there's a better chance that it is going to be me. Time for a Change, Richard Bandler. There's an entire chapter in here on the power of humor and laughter. And I mostly picked these quotes just because I wanted to get you going on this.
Let me get my shit-talking muscles warmed up.
Yeah. So he says, people say, someday I'll look back at this and laugh. And in NLP, we say, why wait? It doesn't do you any good. With the ability to laugh, you have the freedom to escape your own model of the world. A lot of times people laugh, but they don't escape. Seize that moment. Use the instant of laughter. Look at a situation as being as silly as it is. In some other context or some other time, it would be. In some other culture, it would be. You can change your perceptions enough. And humor is magic.
Amen, brother. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about that before. Like, if you can get someone to laugh at their problem, then it's not them anymore. It's like, you're laughing at it. It's over there. It's not that laughter of like, oh, you're such an idiot and making fun of yourself. It's being able to see it as the joke that it is.
Yeah.
Get the pun of it all, and to be able to go, oh, okay. Oh, that's cute, and move on.
People get it in their head that good therapy is harrowing, that you got to be crying or sobbing. And while those are examples, or screaming and raging, and while those are examples of release, and I'm not judging them, a lot of times clients cry. I've had some of my biggest releases while I've been crying and sobbing or raging and beating the fuck out of pillows. But people do not understand the magic and power of laughter and humor. That it's like all those other ones elevated to a spiritual level, to be able to laugh at your problems while you're releasing them. I mean, one of my favorite quotes about laughter is an orgasm.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with that.
And that concept that what you're doing is building up to something and then taking a problem that somebody has, something they hate about themselves or their life, and then turning them on about it and making them laugh about it. And in that moment, it no longer holds power over them, and it's gone.
Yeah, getting someone to essentially do a collapse anchor, get someone to laugh, be so someone hilarious, and they're literally laughing. You go, cool, now think about your problem. It's like, no.
Yes.
You know, it's just like, it's not there anymore. And yeah, I mean, if there's anything that sets us apart as humans, one of the senses that we have that other things don't seem to have as much of is humor. And I think it's there for a reason. And it makes us human. And there's so much healing that can happen from laughing. And I you know, a good portion of my style is boop. Oh, but boop. Oh, did I just throw your words back at you? Boop. Until finally it's like either they want to punch me or they want to laugh or both. But at some point that pressure is going to go, oh, okay. I can't keep up this fake persona that can't laugh at that. Because you've shown it to me at too many angles. That joke's fucking hilarious. I'm going to laugh now. At which point they're able to see it for what it is and not do it again. And one of the main reasons people don't go back to their old habits is because they're silly. They can look at it and go, that's just silly. I can appreciate it. And we want to make it so people don't look at their old self and think they're assholes and hate them, but like forgive them, but also go, that's silly. That's just silly. I wouldn't do that anymore because I'm not silly. And it becomes an identity thing. We're like, that's just not who I am anymore. I can laugh at it because it's not who I am anymore.
This isn't just a frame that's useful for working with clients either. This is a life empowering frame. One of my favorite analogies about this is I've heard it said that it's very uncomfortable and they often don't show video or recordings of surgeons doing their work in the operating room to people who are non-medical professionals, because they're often cracking jokes and listening to music and talking about stuff. And to people who aren't in the know, they look at that and they're like, they're not taking this seriously. And I love this quote: life is too important to take it seriously. Right. The idea is that if you're sitting there with a scalpel, I don't know. It could be. I don't know who to give it.
I know what his was. His was, don't be serious, be sincere.
If you're sitting there with a scalpel about to cut into a human and you actually think about the implications of what you're doing, you can't handle it. You can't do it. You will suck at your job. The only way to be good at it is to lighten the mood. And in that way, humor is it's a superpower. Being able to laugh and be in that is a profoundly resourceful state for you. And to be able, this is one of the things, Morgan, I think you're really good at, is build rapport, pace and lead your client and whoever you're talking to into that state of humor. Bring them up with you. And when they're in their darkest, deepest, most shameful shit, that's challenging because they will want to try to pull you down into it. And your job is to get into rapport and then pull them up into something beautiful, something empowering. Right. Love is great. Compassion is great. Surrender is great. Humor.
Right.
Humor may be the most human thing that we can do.
Yeah. And I don't, like I said, like a lot of the things that I watch are funny because I need more humor than not, I think.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's harder to find because it's easy to do badow. Yeah. It like, what is it like? I forget what it is. But, death is easy, comedy's hard or something like that. Yeah. So I totally agree, man. Humor. And so a sense of bringing light to this situation, right? Making light.
Yes.
Obviously, we're not going to make fun of people who are having a hard time in this situation, and we're not necessarily going to make a bunch of, hey, let's get it's COVID comedy night here. We're going to make fun of all the people who don't have respirators, but like, there's something in it where we can find some sense of lightness.
Yeah.
And,
I love that reframe on light, making light of it, bringing light to it. It all goes hand in hand.
So, do any of our face peeps have questions?
No, but I appreciate everybody commenting. We've got, I mean, it does seem like more people are online right now. Because we've had quite a few people jumping in and commenting. So
Good. Well, we're here for you. Ask us questions.
You got any questions that you saved up?
I don't. Other than what the fuck am I supposed to do? The world's going to end.
I feel like we answered a lot of that.
I do too.
Actually.
So I think you know.
Let me see if I have one. I might in my.
Here, I'm going to hold up a book. This is a book that I've been wanting to have time to study.
Hold it up for the next 5 minutes.
And now I'm going to study it.
Oh shit, dude! I've been into hand shadow since I was a kid. I love that stuff.
There's some good ones.
I'm not good at it, but
like, what is that? Look at this guy. Check out the farmer. Yeah, I'll be doing some farming.
Yeah, no, I think I used up my reservoir of questions.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing with my hands while I'm alone. So
that's the only thing you'll be doing.
Make the most of this time. This is the ultimate pattern interrupt. What are you going to fucking do about it? This is the time for you to do yours and for you to help people do theirs.
Ask the question, what would I need to do to make this one of the best things that's ever happened to me? If you ask the question and you stay with it and you trust your unconscious, you will come up with an answer. You might not like it. It might scare the ever-loving shit out of you, but you will come up with an answer and it will guide you to actually making this one of the best times. So on that note, and on this is the biggest pattern interrupt ever. Peace, love, and NLP, everybody.
We love you guys. Stay strong. Peace.
Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.